Okay, so we're gonna just have to do a lot of cleaning. This is way more than I thought I was gonna have to do. Um, these eagle feathers need to be cleaned. So they came to us from some deceased birds. I've got little piles of feathers everywhere. All these up in here. All these white tail feathers. All this pile of, I don't know, there's over 100 here anyway, hundreds. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use Dawn, this stuff. See the little duck on it? And we're gonna put them in, get them soaked in tubs for 15 minutes, warm water with that, not too much. Agitate it, let it sit, and then we'll use our fingers to clean them. Once they're clean, they'll dry, and then we steam them. And then we put them in freezer bags and freeze them. So it's a bit of a process to get through all these, but over the weekend I will have it done. And then I'll pass it off. These are all going to community and agencies and partners and peers and just members at large who need them. And so we're gonna get them ready to be given out. And I was told that you cannot get avian flu from bird feathers, only the carcass or the actual live bird. So, and here's why. See this little eagle poop? We wanna get that off the feather. And yeah, so we're gonna start by washing them. Okay, so I got them all sorted out. They came to us, they're really dirty. I sorted them out, categorized them, took inventory. Pointer feathers, secondaries, primary feathers, tail feathers, the little tiny craft ones. They're really dirty. And so I'm holding them in the freezer for 48 hours to kill mites and bacteria. And here's the cleaning section. And what we're gonna do here is, here's my feather. It's really well put together. I've had it in other videos. And our goal is to get these little Charlie Browners looking like that. I got one that I'm working on. It's coming. This was like this, and it needs to be steamed now. And these are just some of my personal ones. So we're gonna start with these 4 little guys. And if you see how they're pretty dirty, they came off the ground, there's poop on them, that's eagle poop. They poop on their own feathers. And you see at the top, they look like it's all damaged. We're gonna try to fix that. So we're gonna put it in, we're gonna let it soak for 30 minutes. And I'm using Dawn. See the little duck? That's the Ultra, Dawn Ultra. That's the stuff I use. Apparently it's the best. I've done a lot of this before, and it is by far the best I found. So, and it's super gentle. And a thing I can't stress enough for myself is to make sure that when I'm just working with these little things, that I just practice gentleness. I don't know what their journey was like, so we're just gonna try to breathe some life back into them, get them in shape, and get them out to the people that need it. So, that being said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these uncleaned feathers that just came to us from a steward of the land. They're an indigenous person who patrols the territory, and if they find feathers, they pick them up and they keep them like this because they know they could be transformed into something beautiful. And that's what I'm gonna show or attempt to anyways today, and get them looking like these little guys. And so there they are, they're just sitting there and gentle. No rubbing yet, just let them soak. And don't even swish them around. Just let them sit there for a good 30 minutes, even an hour. But just remember, don't forget that they're in the water, because you don't want to ruin them. Just let them soak for, at minimum 30 minutes. Just a little bit of bubbles, and that's all you need. And then when I pull them out, I'm going to use my fingers to just clean them. And you cannot get avian flu from feathers, only the bird itself. So that was passed on to me by the BC wildlife people. And so that's good to know. So let's let them soak, and then we're gonna pull them out, put in clean water, rinse them, and then let them dry. I let them air dry, I don't blow dry. And I don't want to damage any quills. So let's see how that works. Okay, I moved the feathers over to a different table. I pulled them out of the soap water. They already look better. And when I had it in the soapy water, I just used my fingers to go with the quills to pull any crappy stuff off, literally crappy stuff. And I gently use my fingers to clean them. Now I'm rinsing them. And when I rinse them, I do not want to touch the quills. I just want to gently agitate them in the water, get any soap off. And that's how you want them to dry, just like that. Try to keep their shape. Just rinsing it off. The soap's already done its job. So we don't want it to lose its shape. There, look, that one came together. Nice, nice, nice. So we want it to dry that way. And we put it on, I just cut up a t-shirt. It doesn't really matter because I just don't want it. I just wanted something fabric to soak up this end piece is going to need some work on the steam. You can see already. There we go. This is the last one. And you're constantly changing out your water. You could use a bigger bucket. To be honest with you, I could use a bigger tub. I just borrowed this from work. Okay. So they're going to dry. Let's get that medicine over here. Let's get it all over. And we're just going to let it dry. Once they're dried, I'm going to take them back over to the stove. We're going to put an old tea kettle on, not the electric kind, the one that, because those shut off. You want to use the ones that are old school. And it's just steam coming out, and we're going to steam them and shape them and do a final touch on them, and then we're going to let them dry, and they're good to go. We'll put them back in the freezer, and we can deliver them to the communities and agencies and just anybody that needs them. So yeah, thanks for the people, the land stewards that dropped these off to us. So that's pretty much the hardest part. The steaming is hard too. So we'll get to that next. So these have been washed and they're dry. The other ones, I'm just waiting for them to dry, but I thought I'd go ahead and steam them. So you can see that we're gonna put these little gaps together with the steam. It gets them a nice finished look. These are really good shape. See how that looks like it's damaged? It's not. It just needs steam to come together. Some of these are really nice. And like, yeah, the tips might need some work. Yeah, some of these are really nice. Here's one that's missing a quill. Doesn't matter what we do to it, it's not gonna. Some people really like those though. Kind of have their own little unique look, like a fighter missing a tooth in the front. Yeah, so we're gonna start and we're just gonna work our way down. I've got the tea kettle on, this old tea kettle, and we're just gonna steam them and get them into good shape. Once they're finished, this is the last part. Once they're finished, they will go in the freezer again, and I'll put them to whatever group they got to go to. These feathers don't belong to me. These two do. These are the only feathers I own that are personal to me. Everything else goes to community people, agencies or other people, so that other people can have their own. And so, yeah, that's what happens when we try to build a relationship with the people that gather these, and then we take them and we try to restore them, clean them, get all the medicines over top of them, so that if you're working with these things, just be gentle with them, and you can never go wrong just making sure that you have the ability to burn medicines and just spread them, whether it's hides, it doesn't matter what animal parts. I'm a big proponent, not this what I do. I just make sure that medicine is constantly burning over these things, as much as humanly possible. So there's still a little dirt on there, but I think it'll come out with the steam. So we're gonna give it a final makeover. Let's see how they look. So you can see this one, yeah, it needs some work. It's clean. We threw it in, but now we're gonna throw it in the steam. It's spa day and the eagle feathers are getting treatment. So we're gonna put it gently in the steam, and then I'm gonna work it in with my fingers, pulling away from the quill. Never against it, always working gently with it. And we're gonna get it back into the shape. And let's see what it looks like when I'm done. Yeah, I kind of wanted to show two people. These are all were found on the ground. And you're gonna get different stages. This is what I call a grade A feather. It's not missing quills. There's nothing really damaged on them. You can preen it with your fingers and it'll go into perfect shape. It would make a wonderful gift to honor somebody with. This is what I would call a grade B. And the reason why, it looks full, but if you look closely, no, that's pretty good. See, there's little missing chunks here. And then on the tip, it looks like it's got chewed by some mites. And so it doesn't mean that that can't be turned into a beautiful gift, wrap it, that kind of stuff. I just don't know if I would give that to an elder. But maybe somebody that's younger in their journey, they might be able to use it to practice and get good at practicing cultural stuff. It's still a beautiful feather. It's just, I would just classify that as a grade B. And then you have, unfortunately, the ones that you find in the ground that no matter how much washing you do, how much steam you put it through, this little fella has been trashed. There's chunks missing. I'm not even gonna try. Sadly, there's nothing I know how to do. Maybe other people know some kind of magic that can put it back together again, or they do stuff, but sadly for me, what I would do is I would just take this and I would return it to where it came from and let it go there. So this would be a grade C feather. I would not be able to use it for crafts or for honoring anybody in the community with. It's just at the end of its journey and there's nothing else I could do with it, no matter how much I want or try. So that's just how I classify the feathers. That's a personal thing. It doesn't mean anything other than to myself. But I thought I'd pass it along anyway. So these are all finished and they're all put together. Remember, no feather is perfect. These are found on the ground with some steam and love and medicine. You can put them back together and they have a second life. As you can see, these feathers are old compared to a feather that would come off a young bird that had deceased. But they're beautiful once they're wrapped and gifted or just as they are. And that's the finished product. So from those little Charlie Browner state that they're in and they're all having a bad hair day, and parts of them you don't know if they're going to be able to put back together. Some of them have wavy hair, kind of curly hair. Some of the edges are never going to be perfect, but they're full, beautiful feathers ready to go. And it just takes some water, some scrubbing, some good thoughts to put into these little guys. And there you go, the finished product. They're ready to go. Oh, these are gonna go in a freezer bag and then back into the freezer so that any mites, they're not gonna ruin the tops of those. I'm gonna put mine in there too as well because it had been smudging all these and I don't wanna get any mites on it. So I'll put these little guys in there too as well. And that's it. That's how I clean feathers. Like I said, there's probably a million ways to do it, and I'm sure people will have other methods, but that's just how I do it. And anyone can do it because you just walk along on the ground and you find a feather and you want to clean it. There you go. That's what I do.